Shri Rahman Khan.
Honorable Chairman, sir, I thank you for giving me an opportunity to participate in this discussion on the Ministry of Minority Affairs. It is a bit unusual for a Deputy Chairman of this August House to participate in the discussion on proceedings, but as a member of this House, I have the right to participate, and this ministry I consider a very important ministry, and I would like to share my views on the functioning of this ministry. Sir, there are about 250 million minorities in our country. Out of that, 70% of the Muslims, 15% are Christians, 10% are Sikh, and 5% are other religious minorities. Sir, I must express my thanks to Honorable Prime Minister and the Chairperson of UPA for creating this vital ministry to address the aspirations of the minorities of our country. The mandate for this ministry is too wide. It is inclusive. The purpose for which the ministry is created is to see that social justice is provided to every citizen, including the minorities. And here it is, according to our Constitution, Article 15 and 16 is very clear that whenever there is, the Constitution uses the word discrimination and unequal treatment. There is a word discrimination, there is a word unequal treatment. So when in a society, we are living in an unequal society. It is possible there are prejudices, there are discriminations, there is unequal treatments. So it is the duty of any welfare state to provide, to see that discrimination is removed. That is why Article 15.4, Article 16.4 has been, empowers the government to remove this discrimination and unequal treatment. And I feel within that right, the government has a right to create a ministry and to address these issues of the various sections of the society, which includes the minority. Sir, in this connection, the Government of India rightly, to address the grievances of the minorities that they are receiving unequal treatment, established a Sachar committee under the chairmanship of Justice Sachar, and that committee report is before the House, before all, it is being discussed. The government has taken several measures to implement the recommendation of the Sachar committee. But an impression is there within the community that the total implementation has not been done, and the implementation is slow and tardy. Particularly, establishment of Equal Opportunity Commission has not recommended, that has not been done. And establishment of a Work Development Corporation to address the development of the work has not been done. And then the data bank has to be established, there's so many other long-term strategies which has been recommended by this Sachar committee is still not taken, and I request the government to see that the Sachar committee report is implemented in its letter and spirit. Sir, regarding the Rangnath Mishra Commission report, the report is already laid before the House, and the government is yet to take a decision on the, and there also it is a question of reservation. Now reservation, there are different opinions about reservation, whether reservation should be there, reservation. But as I go back to the Article 15 and Article 16.4 and 16.4, there one of the method which the government can remove this discrimination is through the route of reservation, which has been done. So here also, I feel it is constitutionally valid to have reservation under 15.4 and 16.4 to remove the discrimination or unequal treatment. Sir, I hope the government will take an early decision whether they accept the recommendation of Rangnath Mishra Commission or modify the commission. It is left, but the government has to take immediate action. Sir, I compliment the ministry for the massive scholarship programs which they have taken up for the minorities. Yes, education is very important for any society for its development. Without education, no society can develop. Sir, it is a fact that the Muslim community is backward, most backward in the field of education. I happened to be the chairman of the Minority Commission in Karnataka. There I conducted the socio-economic surveys of 1 million minorities, Sikh, Christians, everybody. And sir, Karnataka is supposed to be a progressive state in the field of education. There the dropout at the level of the 7th standard is 93.5%. It is a government survey. It is not anybody's survey. So a community where in the 7th standard the dropout is 93%, some war-footing steps should be taken to set right these things, and that is why the scholarship program is one of the good program, but it is not reaching. You are targeted. You have so many scholarships. When the educational backwardness is so much, when Sachar committee says that this community is even behind the SC/ST community according to the report, when that is the scale of backwardness, and if you just say 20,000, 20 lakh, 30 lakh scholarship when the requirement is more than 2 to 3 lakh, so it should be demand driven. It should not be that you fix a particular amount and then see whatever is applicable to SC/ST in the sake of education field. I request the government to consider to be extended to this also. Sir, you have a MCD programs, that is Minority Concentrated Districts programs. I am sorry to say that this has not taken off. These 90 districts, you have at what basis you have bifurcated the majority district of Muslim minority concentrated population, but it is not been implemented, number one, and two is it has been left at the mercy of the state governments. State government has also to contribute, I am told, about 20 or 15 or 20% of their funds. Some of the state governments are not contributing. So this program, even the Parliamentary Committee on Social Welfare Justice has recently said that the amount earmarked for this program and the amount spent from this program, there is almost, this is not been spent, and there is, it has, let me tell you, it has not got any impact on the minority. Said what is required is it should be block wise, not district. District is too big a area where sometimes it is left to the collector to implement there, or where there is no minorities also they can do it. So it is better to have blocks as the criteria for the minority concentrated district. Sir, the three issues I would like to discuss in this house, which is of vital importance. One is Waqf. Sir, the Muslim community has got this kind that because of the endowments, the Waqf properties in this country is enormous. There are more than 4 lakh acres of property, probably after the defense and the railways, the third major holders of the land holding of the endowed land. Endowed, it is not belong to anybody, it is endowed, is 4 lakh acres. So out of it, 2 lakh acres are encroachment or under the disputes, or sometimes government has taken over, there is a dispute between the government and the Waqf boards that this property is a Waqf property or not. There 2 lakh acres are more or less 2 lakh acres is in this. There are another 2 lakh acres is remaining. What are you going to do with this 2 lakh acres unless you develop it? What is the use of a land which, see, take for example the land, small land in Bombay where it is a Waqf land where the biggest house of the world has come up in that Waqf land of Mukesh Ambani. The land is on a Waqf land. And the biggest house, it has been sold it for a paltry sum. Take the Calcutta Taliganj Club, Calcutta Race Course, Bangalore Windsor Manor Hotel. All these properties are Waqf properties, thousands of such properties there. Sir, these properties are developed. Do the Muslim community need help from anywhere else? There is no need. They can have their own education institution, they can invest, but there is no will, there is no vision. I would like to appeal to the Honorable Minister for Minority Affairs to have a vision on the work development. We have given reports. In fact, the Joint Parliamentary Committee on Waqf, which has submitted a comprehensive report, and that comprehensive report deals with various aspects of Waqf. We do not have still a ATR for the Joint Parliamentary Committee report, in which, forget about what is to be, we have to get back. Why don't we create an institutional mechanism to develop these Waqf properties? We don't need government patronage. We don't need government funds. The 15 crore Muslims of this country, they should contribute for their own development. Let us don't make this community to get seeking help. Empower them, facilitate them to stand on their own legs. This is what is needed. You don't need, how much government can allocate? Now we are saying that Waqf board, you have given only 1 crore in the Waqf, in the budget. Even if you 100 crores also, it will not be sufficient to put one building. So there is a need to have an institutional mechanism. Section 32(5) of the Waqf Act mandates the Waqf boards to develop the properties. Not a single Waqf property has been developed by the Waqf board. So the blame is not on others, blame is on ourselves. We have not done our work properly. So I request the Honorable Minister to have a vision document on the Waqf development, which the committee, the Joint Parliamentary Committee has said that the community can, by developing the Waqf properties, can have 10,000 crore annual income. If 10,000 crore is invested, and 10,000 crore to invest is not a difficult thing. So on this, I would like the Honorable Minister to throw light and then see that the Waqf Development Corporation, the national level is there, and then enforce, because the state governments are not able to, because they have made it as a political weapon for appointments of the members and all that, they use it for, not for development. So drastically change the Waqf Act, bring transparency in the appointments of the Waqf boards, and see that the Waqf Act is more, will look towards the development of the Waqf properties and also to dispute solving mechanism. So the second subject which I would like to deal, though it is not your subject, but you have the right under the mandate to wherever the minorities are involved, you have a say. Now Hajj, we didn't ask for subsidy. The Muslim community never asked for a subsidy you give. The subsidy is created because the pilgrims were going by ship. Due to various reasons, the ship was cancelled. Then initially, it was a small subsidy was given to poor Hajis to go by air. Later on, this developed into a monster, from 10 crores to 800 crores. So why subsidy? As Honorable Member Mr. Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi yesterday said, it is a cross subsidization to Air India. He said about it. Yes, I have been fighting right from 97 that justify the subsidy. I have written to Prime Minister, then Prime Minister, I have written to the then Minister of Civil Aviation, please justify why. For example, 85,000 is the charge which Air India is charging for a Haji to take, 85,000. Whereas to go to a normal, if I am not going through the Hajj committee route, I will be going to the Jeddah and coming back, doing the Hajj in 35,000. 35,000 is the amount which is the maximum. Even some aircraft are taking 16,000, 20,000, 25,000. Now 85,000 is, because they say it is a chartered flight, one way they have to go with this thing. But even chartered flight should not be even, it goes 100% capacity. There is no other paraphernalia, no other expenditure because all will go like a herd and then come like a thing. There is no. So 85,000, how do we justify 85,000 rupees? This is how the third, so the Hajj subsidy, no.
Silence, please.
I will conclude.
Silence, please.
I have 2 points.
Please continue.
The two issues, the Hajj, there is need for reform, there is no need for subsidy. Create a logistic corporation, both, and you create a logistic corporation, leave it to them. It is an independent statutory body, you do it and you can manage the Hajj, which we have discussed with the MEA, Minister of External Affairs. So the last point I would like to share is the saving mechanism. See, now all the developments, education, everything is there. There is a demand from the Muslim community that the religion prohibits interest. So, interest, it is a religious belief. No, there is no logic or no justification. There is a religious belief. The Quran says that interest taking is. Now, what they are asking? We want to save our money for own development. Create an institutional mechanism, a financial. Now, see how much change has taken place in the financial sector. 25 years back, nobody knew what is mutual fund. Now, mutual fund industry, which is again without interest. It is, if you go to the definition of mutual fund, there is no interest. It is not based, it's not working on interest. And that industry and mutual fund is a part of the Islamic economic approach. It is 100% is a part of the Islamic economic. There you create a mutual fund. There you create a venture capital fund. Now, if the community for only its own benefit creates a similar institutional mechanism, they say we can't create. It is useful. Today, more than $1 trillion all over the world. England has opened, America has given facility, all the European countries have given the facilities. What is prohibiting our country to do it? Our bureaucracy. It is even not even God. Prime Minister the other day when he went to Malaysia, he has said that it should be studied. Even then, there is some hesitation. So these are 3 things if you done, there will be, the Muslim community will not be depending on anything and they will be part of the governance, they will be part of all this thing and they will be able to contribute and they will be save, and all this mechanism is saving mechanism. And lastly, Malaysia, a small country with 1.5 crores of population, of Muslim population, though it is majority population Muslim, still they have created a separate mechanism, and that a similar mechanism they have got $10 billion fund under one Hajj Tabung Haji. Sir, these are the few things I would wanted to share my views with her. I once again thank you for giving me this opportunity.